Hey guys, it's Divest. I just woke up to a 7-day ban on my NukecelHyperreality Reddit account. Nothing too out of the ordinary for me, but the context behind this ban is so obtuse that I wanted to discuss it publicly. So back on the 18th of August, I stealth posted a meme about the A-10 Thunderbolt on non-credible defense. Now unfortunately, NCD has been infested by a scourge of normals sheepishly bleeding Ukrainian and Israeli propaganda. I wasn't aware just how bad the problem was at the time, so the first comment I got from a Bertlet, I hyperbolically reported with something along the lines of, "He has the wrong opinion," as an in-joke to the moderators. So apparently the Reddit in-house moderation team reviewed my report almost a month later, recognized that my report was made frivolously, and decided to hand down a week-long ban for it. Now literally everything about the way Reddit operates in this instance just comes off like the worst possible way you could conduct yourself in this situation. First, what if my report hadn't been frivolous? It really takes Reddit 26 days to respond to a potential rule violation. Imagine if someone reported some child abuse on their site. It's just going to sit up there free to view for a month until someone at Reddit finally gets around to it. Secondly, there is the obvious workload problem. Since a manual review was conducted by Reddit staff on shit they really should not be paying attention to. My report was aimed squarely at the moderators on NCD as a violation of the sub-rules, not a violation of the terms of service of Reddit itself. You would want to optimize this by creating a clear and concise system for delineating a system for reporting terms of service violations separately from subreddit rule violations, so you don't end up with a 26-day-long backlog of reviewing frivolous reports that were unknowingly sent to the wrong people. Third, has a lot of moronic implications for how Reddit operates, since subreddits are supposed to allow for arbitrary rules by the owners and moderators. Like earlier this year, I got banned off a subreddit by one of those failed leftist ideologies for not being the right kind of stupid for them. Those lefties who reported me to try and bring attention to my account from their moderators for violating their rules could have also gotten banned for wasting the time of the Reddit staff, who had to review that report and conclude that criticizing Joseph Stalin is not against the Reddit of terms of service. Finally, I can't think of a more asinine system than to punish people for making false reports with 7-day bans, since Reddit has opened the floodgates to false positives. The only reason to implement this system is to try and discourage people from using the report system. This just means that terms of service violations are going to slip through the cracks because people aren't willing to put their neck out and even make Reddit aware of a violation, or people are going to get punished because they reported something they thought was genuinely against the terms of service, but then some faceless loser who got a job moderating Reddit decided his time was being wasted. I mean, the site rules are so vague that I find most of the NCD posts to be violations of some terms of service. There is sexualized artwork of F-35 Chan, a middle schooler. There are people dehumanizing Palestinians and Russians. Hordes of shit memes being stolen from other members and spammed on the sub. Reddit allows this shit because they are trying to strike a balance between keeping as many users as possible, while also keeping standards high enough that their shareholders and advertisers don't look bad for giving Reddit money. So is Reddit going to punish people for reporting valid terms of service violations when Reddit doesn't act on them because they don't consider the violations to be severe enough? This isn't the only example of Reddit doing the worst thing possible with the way their site functions. Beyond just the recent changes to modern Reddit's formatting tools, you also have the blocking system now. Now Reddit really sucks ass about getting rid of notifications. I have tried and failed dozens of times to ghost comment sections on Reddit, only to get spammed with notifications from some low-functioning adult who is mindlessly repeating himself like an NPC, giving you hints during a softlock glitch in a video game. So blocking is basically required if you don't want to get spammed from someone you don't want to hear from. But they do it the worst way possible by trying to make it like Twitter, where you can't see comments or the profile of someone who has blocked you, which just means that you know you're blocked, you're unable to reply to any of their comments, and you can't even look at their posts, which just means you have to open up the page without being logged in or on an alternate account to see what they're saying. You can still edit your messages in reply to the blocker, which means you can still harass them. And I make a point of emphasis since everyone who blocks me is invariably someone bitching out because they lost an argument with me and wanted to get the last word in. This system was already figured out 20 years ago with Xbox Live. If you didn't want to hear from someone on the Xbox 360, you would just mute them. You could also set your account to only receive notifications from certain people. It also did a good job of not letting them know you muted them, since they could still message or talk at you, while you just wouldn't receive any of it. The real kicker is that chat is an afterthought on Xbox, but Reddit is a forum where communicating with people is the entire point, and they made the communication significantly worse. Another hell site I learned about recently is DoorDash. The speaker's mom is a dasher and he sometimes helps her out. A major part of the reason why Speaker helps his mom is so she can operate the phone while he drives instead of being forced to multitask. The work is made unnecessarily dangerous because dashers have to accept orders by clicking on their phone with a timer clicking down until the order disappears, and they are punished for having their acceptance rate reduced, which causes them to lose special privileges. Despite the fact they are using the GPS to accurately track the speed of the driver, they don't take this into account when offering orders to the dashers, sending them orders and punishing them for keeping both hands on the wheel while driving down the highway at 70 miles per hour. It would be so easy for them to make the dashers stop their cars and wait to receive offers for orders, or to just automatically assign orders to the dashers so they don't have to play with their phone while driving. It's also fucking illegal to play with your phone while you're driving. So an ideal DoorDasher is also a reckless, distracted driver and a criminal, because the people behind the software have no common sense. Beyond that, the review system for DoorDash is also fucked. After delivery, the customer can review their order. The way this is presented to the customer is that you're reviewing the food, but anything less than 5 stars will hurt the score of the dasher, even though they have no control over the food except getting it from the restaurant to the customer. This means that dashers are encouraged to skip orders from restaurants they know have problems like messing up orders in order to avoid that hit to their average review score. And people who know how DoorDash works, like the speaker, end up punching in 5 stars for every restaurant, even when they don't deserve it, because he is empathetic to DoorDashers and doesn't want them to be punished for someone else's mistake, while also artificially inflating bad restaurants. Any idiot could tell you that this system should just ask reviews for both the driver and the restaurant separately. Anyways, I could go on all day about nonsense systems designed to punish innocent people, but I don't feel like spending any significant amount of time on this.